a 10,000-ton ship rockets skyward, defying gravity inside a steel fortress that conquers China's brutal mountains. The 7.7 billion Goupitan Ship Lift doesn't just move cargo, it rewrites trade across a nation. This isn't just engineering, it's a bold gamble to outsmart nature and secure China's future. But is this marvel a triumph or a warning of overreach? Guizhou Province, China, is a fortress of jagged peaks and wild rivers, where nature has long blocked progress. The Wu River, vital for trade, winds through cliffs soaring 200 meters, with monsoons turning streams into torrents and landslides wrecking roads. Known as the mountain that devours men, this terrain made transport a nightmare. Ships took 4 days to navigate the Wu's bends. Trucks risked crumbling paths. Traditional canal locks, needing 20 chambers for the 199-meter elevation, were too slow and costly. Shipping a container from Guizhou to Shanghai could take 2 weeks, costing 3 times more than elsewhere in China. This left Guizhou with 36 million people stuck in economic isolation, its GDP trailing coastal regions. Across the Pacific, America watches in shock as China's infrastructure surges forward, building megaprojects like the Goupitan Ship Lift at a pace the US struggles to match. While US infrastructure debates drag on, China's rapid development, pouring $7.7 billion into this ship lift, raises eyebrows and fuels rivalry. The US relies on aging ports and highways, but China's bold projects aim to dominate global trade. Guizhou's plight demanded a radical fix, a vertical ship elevator to hoist 10,000-ton vessels over mountains, slashing travel time to hours. This wasn't just about cargo, it was China flexing its engineering might, proving it could conquer nature and outpace competitors like the US, whose own infrastructure lags behind. The Goupitan Ship Lift became a symbol of this ambition, unlocking Guizhou's potential and signaling China's strategic push to reshape global supply chains. To conquer Guizhou's brutal terrain, China built a colossus that leaves the world in awe. The Goupitan Ship Lift, completed in 2021 after a decade, is a 199-meter-tall beast, hoisting 10,000-ton ships over mountains. While the US debates crumbling bridges, China's $7.7 billion marvel lifts ships to a higher reservoir, bypassing 200 meters of elevation in one bold move. The design hinges on a 40-meter-long, 12-meter-wide steel chamber holding a 500-ton vessel and thousands of tons of water, weighing 11,000 tons loaded. 4 concrete pillars, anchored 70 meters into bedrock, guide the ascent, housing 256 steel cables, strong enough to tow jets. These cables, paired with interlocking metal teeth, form a skyscraper-sized gear system, lifting with millimeter precision. Building it was grueling. Workers fought monsoons and unstable cliffs, pouring 1.2 million cubic meters of concrete and enough steel for 2 Eiffel Towers. Materials were hauled through narrow passes, a logistical feat the US, with its gridlocked infrastructure projects, rarely matches. The lift withstands earthquakes and winds, using hydraulic dampers with fluid to fill an Olympic pool, absorbing shocks like a meteorite hit. Powered by the Goupitan Dam's turbines, it consumes electricity for a small city. China's speed and scale in building this titan highlight a gap. While US ports age, China's infrastructure, like this ship lift, races ahead, fueling a global trade rivalry. Every cable and bolt screams precision, ensuring this gravity-defying machine operates flawlessly. The Goupitan Ship Lift is a high-stakes dance of power and precision, outpacing anything the US has built in decades. A cargo ship, long as a football field, enters a 40-meter steel chamber sealed by 400-ton hydraulic doors. Pumps flood it, creating a liquid elevator, and in 30 minutes, the 11,000-ton chamber climbs 199 meters, higher than the Statue of Liberty. While US infrastructure lags with outdated systems, China's lift uses 256 steel cables and gear rack teeth, made from a tough, flexible alloy, aligning with millimeter accuracy despite crushing weight. Sensors detect tiny imbalances, adjusting instantly, while hydraulic dampers, filled with Olympic pool-sized fluid, steady the chamber against winds or quakes. 5 redundant computers cross-check every move, ready to hit emergency brakes. From the ship's deck, the ride is unreal. The river shrinks, mountains loom through portholes, and the world drops away. At the top, gates open, and the ship glides into a vast lake, finishing a 2.5-hour journey that once took 4 days. Handling 24 cycles daily, it moves 5 million tons of cargo yearly. This precision marvel showcases China's engineering edge, leaving the US scrambling to modernize ports and canals. The lift's flawless operation isn't just about speed. It's a statement of China's ambition to dominate global trade infrastructure, while America's aging systems struggle to keep up. One wrong move could send thousands of tons crashing, but China's surgical accuracy ensures it doesn't. The Goupitan Ship Lift didn't just conquer mountains, it transformed Guizhou's economy and China's trade game. Before the lift, Guizhou was a logistical dead zone, its 36 million people cut off by cliffs and rivers. Shipping costs were sky high, and industries barely survived. The lift, moving 5 million tons of cargo yearly, slashed shipping times from 4 days to 2.5 hours and cut costs by 67%. Industrial output jumped 42%, and foreign investment soared 83%. Villages once scraping by now thrive as trade hubs, with tech parks and export zones blooming. Jobs in shipping, maintenance, and tourism exploded, turning Guizhou into a key player in China's economy. While the US grapples with congested ports and underfunded highways, China's $7.7 billion lift links Guizhou to the Yangtze River, a trade artery carrying billions in goods. This isn't just local growth, it's a power move in a global rivalry. China's dual circulation policy builds inland networks, like the Goupitan, to keep trade flowing even if global ports shut down. The US, reliant on vulnerable coastal hubs, lags in such resilience. The lift also draws tourists, awed by its engineering, boosting local revenue. Meanwhile, America's infrastructure upgrades crawl, with projects like California's high-speed rail stuck in limbo. The Goupitan's success shows China outpacing the US, turning remote regions into economic engines, while the US debates funding for aging bridges. This ship lift isn't just a shortcut, it's a strategic lifeline, ensuring China's supply chains stay strong amid global tensions. For Guizhou, it's a ticket to prosperity. For China, it's a bold step toward trade dominance, leaving competitors like the US playing catch-up. The Goupitan Ship Lift is more than a machine. It's a chess move in China's global strategy, widening the gap with the US. By linking Guizhou to the Yangtze River, the lift strengthens China's inland trade network, part of a massive plan to rival Western dominance. China's Belt and Road Initiative exports this expertise, with Goupitan's engineers now advising on ship lifts in Southeast Asia and Africa. This $7.7 billion project showcases China's ability to build fast and big, while the US struggles with delayed projects like New York's Gateway program. The lift supports China's dual circulation policy, creating supply chains that don't rely on global ports, a hedge against trade wars or sanctions. If international shipping halts, China's inland systems, like the Goupitan, keep goods moving. The US, with its coastal-focused trade, faces risks from disruptions lacking such robust internal networks. The lift also tackles climate challenges, regulating Wu River flows to prevent floods as weather grows extreme, something US infrastructure, like outdated levees, can't match. China's investment in projects like the Goupitan, alongside the Three Gorges Dam, builds resilience, while US infrastructure funding stalls in Congress. The lift's technology, now a blueprint for future projects, positions China as a leader in mega engineering, exporting know-how to allies. Meanwhile, the US lags, its ports and canals, unable to handle modern cargo demands. The Goupitan isn't just about Guizhou, it's a signal of China's long game, building a world where its trade and influence flow uninterrupted. As America watches China's infrastructure soar, the question looms: can the US catch up, or will projects like the Goupitan redefine global power? This ship lift, climbing mountains with ease, shows China betting on engineering to shape the future. The Goupitan Ship Lift isn't the end. It's a blueprint for China's future, leaving the US further behind. China is already planning taller, faster ship lifts across its western provinces, refining Goupitan's tech to move bigger ships in less time. These projects, part of a $1 trillion infrastructure push, aim to make China's inland rivers as vital as its coastal ports, something the US, with its aging inland waterways, can't match. The Goupitan's success has spurred similar builds, with Chinese engineers exporting their know-how to Belt and Road countries like Laos and Pakistan. This expertise is now a global commodity, while US infrastructure, like the Mississippi River's outdated locks, struggles to keep up. Future lifts could handle 15,000-ton ships, cutting trade times even further. China's also eyeing climate-proof designs, using lifts to manage rising flood risks, a stark contrast to US cities like New Orleans, still vulnerable to storms. The Goupitan's tech, with its precise cables and sensors, is being scaled for other mega-projects, from dams to high-speed rail, cementing China's lead in engineering innovation. Meanwhile, US projects like the stalled California high-speed rail face endless delays. China's vision extends beyond trade. These lifts are strategic assets, ensuring economic stability if global shipping falters. The US, with its creaky supply chains, risks falling behind as China builds a world where rivers defy mountains. The Goupitan's legacy is clear. China's betting on infrastructure to reshape global power, while America scrambles to fund repairs. As more lifts rise, will the US find a way to compete, or will China's engineering giants redefine the rules of trade? Operating the Goupitan Ship Lift is like walking a tightrope with 11,000 tons. Every cycle risks disaster. One misstep could send a ship crashing. China's engineers tackled this with relentless precision, using quintuple redundant computers to monitor every cable and gear. These systems, far ahead of US canal tech, catch errors in milliseconds, preventing catastrophe. Maintenance is brutal. Crews climb 199-meter towers in Guizhou's storms to check 256 cables, each vital to the lift's safety. Unlike US locks, often down for repairs, the Goupitan runs 24 cycles daily, thanks to rigorous upkeep. Engineers replace worn alloy teeth, designed to flex under pressure, and test hydraulic dampers to handle quake-level shocks. This relentless focus contrasts with US infrastructure, like the Panama Canal's aging gates, plagued by delays and breakdowns. China's investment in AI-driven diagnostics keeps the lift running smoothly, while the US struggles to fund basic port upgrades. The lift's power demands, met by the Goupitan Dam, dwarf US hydroelectric systems, yet backup generators ensure no outages. Workers train for emergencies, simulating cable snaps or power failures, a level of readiness rare in US projects. The Goupitan's flawless record, 0 accidents since 2021, shows China's edge in managing megastructures, while US systems falter under strain. This shiplift doesn't just run, it proves China can tame risks that cripple others, pushing its trade dominance further ahead. The Goupitan Ship Lift towers over China's mountains, a $7.7 billion marvel that redefined trade. While the US scrambles to fix rusty ports, China's engineering juggernaut surges ahead, making rivers climb skies. But wait, another lift, twice as massive, is rising in China's heartland. It's built to carry ships that could crush the Goupitan's record. What's China's next move, and will the US be left in the dust?